Well, today on the Fatboy Show, I would like to introduce you to the anti-smartphone movement. Have you heard about the anti-smartphone movement? Well, the anti-smartphone movement emerged in response to the smartphone revolution that took off in 2007 with the release of the first Apple iPhone. Yeah, that's when the first smartphone was produced. It was the iPhone by Apple in 2007, and that would be, 16 years ago now? Wow. Well, seeing as smartphones have become so ubiquitous and so integral to our daily function, we use it for communication. You can send emails, you can watch videos, consume media content. You're probably listening to RX Radio right now through your smartphone, for which we have designed a mobile app for both Android and also iOS. So maybe you're listening to the mobile version of the RX Radio website, from which you can enjoy the same functionality as the RX Radio app. Sometimes I listen through the app and sometimes from the mobile version of the website. And it's all very good, and it's both functional in all the ways that you'll appreciate. You can access podcasts, watch our YouTube channel, and do all kinds of cool things. And of course, contact us. So it's we're definitely part of the smartphone revolution, I can tell you that. However, when it comes to smartphones, as with all things, there's pluses and there's minuses, right? And so, of course, we're here enjoying the pluses of smartphones: communication, business, marketing, media, and all that. But then there are some negatives that some people have brought to light, including increased anxiety, increased irritability, and then mental health. People are getting depressed because you're seeing all these Instagram posts of your friends enjoying fancy, fantastic vacations, living a happy life. Meanwhile, you think your life is terrible by comparison. And because your friends are only posting these snapshots of their happy moments, you think that's how their life is every day. No, that was just a moment, one incident in perhaps the last 3 weeks that they had fun, and there you are thinking that they're having fun every day. Meanwhile, you are not, and so you get depressed. What about relationship stress? Seeing posts of people celebrating their anniversaries and Valentines and all the gifts they're receiving from their partners. Ladies are notorious for this. Oh, if the husband sends them a bouquet of flowers, they can't just appreciate it in silence and shut up about it. No, she's got to post a picture of that bouquet and possibly of herself holding the bouquet and talk about how she's loved. Meanwhile, for you, your boyfriend hasn't replied to the text you sent him last night. You don't even know if you're still in a relationship. And so you get depressed when you see other people seemingly so happily in love. Also, smartphones have been known to lead to sleep disturbances. How are you going to sleep at night when you're there thinking, wait, maybe I'm missing out on a viral story that I need to check out. Maybe something is really popping off. Maybe there's a war breaking out. Maybe I need to find out the latest update in Israel versus Hamas. And so every few seconds, you're restless, constantly checking your phone. So how are you going to sleep? You will fail to sleep. So these are some of the negatives of the smartphone revolution. And so in response to these negatives, the anti-smartphone movement or revolution kicked off. And people are trying to ditch their smartphones altogether and have switched to more basic phone devices. Here in Uganda, a good example would be the Katochi phone. The cheap phones you can get for like 50k or 60k that basically you can only just call with it or send SMSs, but doesn't have internet or all that kind of stuff, right? So people are using those kinds of phones because they think it gives them greater peace of mind, it makes them more productive, and it makes them more focused. Among the people who thinks that way is our very own President Yoweri Museveni, who yesterday during a talk he was giving, he responded to the question of why people are always asking him why he uses a Katochi phone. We have never seen President Museveni with a smartphone. Never seen it. Surely he can afford a Samsung or even an iPhone, of course, right? But he's always carrying a Katochi. Is it because he's cheap? Is it because he's stingy? What's the deal here? So, people are asking him, why are you always carrying a Katochi phone? To which the president responded, I have heard about smartphones and I have seen them from a distance. But in my work, I need to do more thinking than tinkering with data and so many things. The president continued, in the army, we do not allow the general to drive because if he drives, his mind moves away from the big issues to the small ones. It is not that I'm against smartphones. I think as a leader, it is better to have less distraction. Hence the Katochi. So in case you didn't know why the president always carries a Katochi phone, there's your answer. But I'm sure there's more to it. There's also the risk of being hacked and spied upon. because a lot of these smartphones you can remotely install software or malware that can be used to track your movements, that can activate the microphone so that others can eavesdrop on you. Your data can be hacked so that all your emails are read, your pictures and other communications, even your WhatsApp. So in case you occupy a sensitive position like you're a head of state, you actually place yourself at great risk by carrying around a smartphone. With a normal Katochi phone that has no internet, it is far less likely that they can do this. When you do have some free time, you can Google something called Pegasus malware, which is a malware that was designed by the Israeli government that can remotely be installed on someone's device, and they sell it to governments around the world as the ultimate spying device. So the president's not stupid. I'm sure his security people are using Pegasus. I think there was a controversy surrounding, it could have been the Rwanda government that was allegedly in the process of purchasing this or something like that. But you can be sure that our government, if not Pegasus, they're using something quite similar to spy on political opponents, like opposition and other characters that they're not huge fans of. You can be sure of that. So the president, not being a fool, ain't gonna let others have access to his data and potentially eavesdrop and spy on him. So for now, it's just going to be Katochi and Katochi phones all the way. Very wise. I don't know about me when it comes to smartphones. I'm very much a creature of modernity. And so, yeah, I'm pretty much a slave to the smartphone era that we live in. It is what I use to operate my business. My business model requires the use of smartphones. As I mentioned, you're probably enjoying RX Radio through your smartphone. It is how we broadcast. It is how we promote our content. And there's just so many things: banking, communications, information. I can't live without a smartphone. If you were to ask me what's the longest time you've spent without a smartphone in your hand, it would have to be something close to, like, as in when I'm awake, that is. It would be something close to 10 minutes. Outside of that, I'll have a smartphone in my hand always. Even when I traveled to Europe during the flight, I had the smartphone on me. Because even on international flights, you can also access the internet, although it's quite expensive. You'll have to pay like $20 for like 5 minutes of internet. It's quite annoying. But yeah, maybe while I shouldn't ditch smartphones completely, I simply can't, to be honest. Maybe I can try reducing on its usage so that I can benefit from being relieved of some of the disadvantages, such as the irritability, anxiety, depression, stress, and sleep disturbance. Maybe it's time I think about slowing down on smartphones. What do you think? Do you think you'll be slowing down on smartphones anytime soon? Might you even go as far as make a switch to a Katochi phone like the president? I very much doubt that. But do keep listening to The Fatboy Show on RX Radio through your smartphone, of course. Don't go away. Still to come, more great music.
RX Radio.